And we're back. This is round 2 of the twin fan mod for the GTX 1060. You saw the one that I did earlier, and I used this heatsink. I couldn't fit 2 fans because the card wouldn't support it. And I have, it's not here. Anyway, I have the original 2 fan configuration. But I was theorizing, I said maybe you could put 2 80s. So these are 2 thermalright 80mm fans, and they just happen to fit perfectly on each part of the heatsink. I found a couple of long screws that go through the heatsink here. I just have to buy more. Probably need thicker ones because it doesn't quite. Anyway, this looks a lot better than the zip tie action I had going on before. So what I'm gonna do is, this is a different card. I'm gonna try again with the 2 fans. If that doesn't work, which I think it probably won't, I'm just gonna run 1 fan off of the card. And then I'm gonna run the other fan connected to the motherboard. So 1 fan will be kind of always on, and then this fan will only kick in. I think I'm gonna do, not sure. This should be the motherboard fan, and then this should be the GPU fan, I think, but it probably doesn't matter either way. That way this is going to blow directly on the memory all the time. Keep that cool. There won't be a memory plate because it won't fit, so this is again like my other card. It's just going to blow directly air on the memory. And then whenever the GPU gets hot enough, this fan will kick in faster. And we'll see how that works. And we'll compare it to my other one. So this is round 2. Let's go. So in the first video, I didn't show too much how to actually do this. So if you get a heatsink from a 900 series, 950, 970, whatever, it's going to be bigger. So you have to use the outside holes. So I'm going to move these little paper washers to here. I'm not sure if that's required, but I assume they did that for a reason. Also, this card is basically brand new, so we'll see if it performs better or worse than the old one. The old card had Micron memory. This has Hynix memory, which is supposedly not as good, but it is a newer card with a newer BIOS, so that could help or hurt. Also a tip, if you want to increase the pressure on your GPU mounting screws, when you pull them off, you can just stretch out the spring a little bit. Make sure you do it evenly, or else you're going to get a lopsided mount. But these ones are new, I'm not going to do that. But what you do is just pull each one just a little bit, and that will increase the tension for a better seal on the GPU. So let's mount it. So here it is mounted. And we're just going to test first before we do a final tie off of the cables. Probably hide these over here. And then this is what it would look like looking down on the card. So not bad, actually. I need a screw here. But we're just going to test it real fast and see if both fans work, or we have to do 1 fan and then 1 computer fan. So we'll be right back. And here's just a quick look at the 2 cards. This is the first one I did, the 970 heatsink on the 1060. And then this is a 950 heatsink. This is actually kind of better, I think, because this will fit in more cases. This is way too long, and I had issues with fitment. And I can't use the SATA connections. I can't do a lot of things. So, and I bet you when I run the temperature tests, the difference is not great. I mean, there was, I think, when I just had the 1 fan on here versus the 2 fans, the temperature difference was 2 to 3 degrees, not much. So this is fine. But now we're gonna have 2 fans instead of 1, so we'll see if that improves at all. And then I just have to get the right screws to go through here. But let's plug it in and test it out. So here it is installed. It did boot with both fans plugged in, so that proves my theory that the fans on the ASUS shroud were just too much amp drawing. These are only 0.1 amps each. So you can run twin fans off of the stock board as long as they're not too powerful. But weird, these fans are so quiet. This is idle, which is about 300 RPM. It can't be 0 for some reason. Like the stock fans on these cards will have a 0 mode and they'll just turn off. But when you put in the aftermarket fan, for some reason, they never go to 0, they just go to their lowest point. So this is 300 RPM. But watch this. We're gonna go sorry, it's so loud in here you can't tell anyway. But so here's 50% fan. So it's going up now. It's 1,000 RPM, 1,100, 1,200. That should be about 50%. Still can't hear it. Now let's go 80. So now we're going up to 1,400, 1,600, 1,800. You still can't hear it over the system. And then let's go 100%. So this is 100% fan. Should be 2,300 RPM. 2380, well, 24. It's 2,450 RPM, which is weird because this is a 2,200 RPM fan, but it works. Yeah, I had to put this twist tie here to hold it on because I don't have the screws yet, but let's do some benchmarks and see how it compares to the other card.